Just a nice guy for Derek.
No.
All right. So Eagles are attempting to go 8-0, 8-0 on the season. The only undefeated team.
They'll be 8-0 at halftime.
Good. I'm glad you bring that up. Let's start there, right? Because you guys know it's dangerous in any professional, college too, but any professional sports league to do the, hey, this thing's over before it's over. But if there's ever a matchup that feels like that, especially this game, you have an undefeated team versus a team that has one win and a tie, okay, that just got trucked the previous week by the Tennessee Titans. An Eagles team that absolutely can run the ball, with the best of them. This does set up like a beatdown, but I hate saying that kind of stuff because it always bites you when you do.
I know, man, but come on, Rob. I mean, seriously, and Rob, I try to be as objective as possible when we discuss every topic, but come on, man, this is like General Custer leading his troops to Custer's last stand. I mean, serious. This is bad. This game is. I shouldn't even have to watch this mess tomorrow.
Well, listen, real quick. Do you guys remember? I think we talked about this Monday. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? But I said to you, man, I can't believe at one point this line. It was either on Monday or I looked at it Sunday, and the line was like 9 or 9.5. Right? Do you know what it's up to now?
18.
It's 14. What? The line's 14, man. Like that's like a homecoming, line in college. Like I'm looking at the rest of the league, and
that's bad.
So you got the Jets and the Bills. The Bills are 12.5-point favorites in that game. Okay, that's a high line too. Chiefs and the Titans. The Titans have won 4 straight, and the Chiefs are 12.5-point favorites at home.
Well, what?
Oh, the team that's won 4 straight. There's some wacky stuff going on this week.
Okay, look at who Tennessee's beaten. Okay, look at their record and look at who they've beaten.
Texans being one of them.
Yeah. That comes into play. I mean, they ran for 300 yards against the Texans and only scored 17 points. That should tell you all you need to know right there.
Yeah, they ran for 314, Henry 219, and a 6.8 average.
There you go.
And they still didn't, wipe the floor up with them.
No, so they only passed the ball, what,
6 times? 6 times, yeah.
That's, you see that. I don't think that – I know we got to understand this. It's a Houston team. They have professional guys on their side of the ball, too. They get paid, too.
Do they?
But they just did.
Well, they do get paid.
Right.
Are they professionals? No.
Do they have enough? That's. I look at their roster. Nico Collins was a guy that was supposed to come out of his shell and be, and it was playing good the first couple of weeks.
Right.
He was reliable. Brandon Cooks injured.
And unhappy, by the way, that he's still there.
Disgruntled employee.
Did you guys see that Twitter I sent you?
Yeah, cryptic text and everything else.
It wasn't even cryptic. He's basically like, okay.
You guys lied to me.
Yeah, you forced me to stay here. I'm going to start digging up all the dirt that I have.
Right. So you got Philip Dorsett. Where was he? Who was with Philip Dorsett? Was he with Baltimore for a little while? Where did he go?
He's bounced a little bit.
No, he's with the Colts.
The Colts. Yeah, that's right. The Colts. I just don't see enough firepower. Yes, you have Damon Pierce, who was a really good running back while he was in Florida. I know they said, he wasn't a starter. Well, they had a pretty good team back then.
Right.
So they threw the ball a lot more than run the ball. And when he did get opportunity, he used to bust it, man. He played well because he got a lot of 6-man boxes what he had to run with. I just don't see they have enough on either. Like we said, Derek Stingley, this year's first-round draft choice, Jalen Petrie from, Baylor. Both of these guys were supposed to start from day one coming in. That's a lot of guys that are, young guys. Christian Harris, linebacker from Alabama. Did a lot of research on him. I thought he was a second-round pick. They got him in the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
Can run, plays everything right, but he's still a rookie. And then Collins, the defensive lineman, Lick Collins, the defensive lineman, he's out this week. They really don't have enough to be good. Not even talking about, be serviceable, but they don't have enough to be good. They're just not a good team right now. They're void of talent. They let a lot of their talent go, and they're trying to rebuild this team. But they're going to I mean, year 3 of trying to rebuild the team. After let Hopkins go, they let Watt go, they let everybody go, and they're still rebuilding. I don't
Well,
understand.
plus you got a new coach, new philosophy this year, so that sets them back also. But you look at this Houston defense, Bear, they're giving up 403.6 yards a game. They're giving up 186 yards rushing a game, which was inflated by Tennessee running for 900 yards on them last week. But the weird thing is they're only giving up 22 points a game.
Right.
So they're the epitome of a bend but don't break defense. They just can't do much offensively. It's like watching the repeat of the Pittsburgh game, except they have less
weapons.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
it'll be that way.
Offensively, they're 31st. They average 92 yards a game rushing. They score 16.6 points a game. They're averaging 288.7 yards a game on offense. It's like watching Pittsburgh all over again, man.
Yeah.
I should get paid double for watching this.
And plus, Davis Mills, you know, when he left Stanford, you know, I thought he would be a good backup, kind of almost like in the Nick Foles type of range as far as, all right, could be a starter, but it's really a backup. And that's exactly what he is. He's a starter, but he should really be a good backup for somebody.
Right.
You know, smart kid, understands where to go with the ball, just doesn't have the talent to go with go with his skill set. They just don't have enough. Yeah. He sits back there trying to pass the ball. Offensive line doesn't block well for him. And it's tough on him. It's really tough on him. Has a decent running game that he can go to, but you know, I mean, once Pierce is out, you know, they got Rex Burkhead. You guys remember him?
Yeah, he's still around. He's
Absolutely.
still around. Yeah.
You know, Rex was in he made his hay when he was with the Pats, you know, with the Patriots. And he's still around. He's like their guy to go in on, you know, to be a relief pitcher. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is not a good team.
Well, let me ask you guys from an Eagles perspective. So the trade deadline came and went yesterday at 4. They didn't make any moves. They made a move the week before. They got Robert Quinn. So it's not like they didn't do anything. Were you guys disappointed they didn't make any additional moves? Where do you fall on the trade deadline?
No,
I wasn't.
No, absolutely not. You have everything you in a mediocre in a very suspect conference this year. Howie has added everything that you need to just run right through this conference, and you're going to come across a stumbling block somewhere. We all agree with that. But in terms of getting to where you want to go, they have everything they need right now as long as they can stay healthy. They're in excellent shape right now in terms of frontline players, supporting cast. Now, you know, if they added something else, fine. But the fact that they didn't do anything, not at all. I'm good right now where they are as an overall team.
Absolutely. I was, if anything, they could have got some backups, but do you trade draft capital for backups?
No.
I don't see that as something they need to do. I mean, if anything, you know, everybody's talking about running back. I don't think they need a runner. I think they got 3 pretty good running backs that they can use and rely upon. You know, Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell are serviceable, very serviceable. The fact they can, you know, they were starters for a little bit, so they can play. You know what I'm saying? So, and at this point, Miles Sanders has been relatively healthy. He's been healthy. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't think the running back was a major issue because they don't run with running backs when they get into the red zone or get to the goal line. They have a quarterback that, you know, that they use in that capacity.
Well, see, Barry, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I did say on the defensive side of the ball, they could get maybe a safety, you know, maybe another safety can come in and you wouldn't have the production that which they play go down so much when Wallace is in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were talking about the draft capital. They really don't have the draft capital
that too.
Want to do, which is a good thing for them. Normally, that's a bad thing. But
Yeah.
you got 2 firsts, a second, a third, and then you don't have another.
You're top
pick right
heavy,
now.
bottom heavy. Yeah,
Absolutely. And you got 2 sevenths. So
Yeah.
they're in great shape. I mean, I'm not giving up a third even in this point.
I'm not either. I'm okay. Like, it's not. They made the Robert Quinn deal. I mean, they got depth at a spot they needed depth. You know, It's nitpicky to really go after them for
Absolutely.
not making any kind of moves.
And you're not going to keep some of these high-priced veterans, but you're in such a good place in the first 3 rounds with 4 picks to replenish the cupboard with potential future star talent.
Derek, especially because we thought those picks are going to be earmarked potentially for a quarterback.
Yep,
not
exactly. And let us not forget, as much as people say, Jalen Hurts about to get paid, from a managerial standpoint, you don't have to pay him after this season. Now, he might be ticked off. His agent might be ticked off. Technically, depending on what you think you identify you need in the offseason, whether free agency or the draft, you don't have to pay this man till 24.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, all right, let's look at this then. I want to start with the positives. Greatest strength of this team through 7 games, for me, it's the diversity. It's the way that they can hurt you on both sides.
You're right.
If you had to put a list together of a couple of things that you say, this is what they do best, what would you guys say it is, Barrett?
What I think they do best, it depends on what side of the ball you're talking about. Like, what they do best is their ability to control the clock. Their time management, because they can run the ball so efficiently, and they keep their offense on the field for so much of the time, and especially in the first quarter, that I think that's a key stat that we don't really pay attention to, that we should, because it keeps the opposing quarterback and their offense off the field. So time possession is a jewel that, we really don't talk about. We probably should talk about that a lot more. I mean, you put an offense, even Dallas, you put an offense like Dallas is on the field where you have CeeDee Lamb, you got guys that can go out there and mix it up a little bit. It could be a much different game, giving them more opportunities if they don't have the ability to control the clock like they do. So, that to me, that's big that they are able to do that.
Gunner?
For me, it's the ability to flip the switch whenever they feel like it. They go into these low periods and they make it seem like it's more of a competitive game than it should be. And then all of a sudden they flip the switch. Prime example against the Cowboys. They let the Cowboys get close, and all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, they said, stop us if you can. And Dallas couldn't stop them. And they put distance between themselves and Dallas to the point Dallas steps out of character, gets all these unsportsmanlike penalty conducts. And that's when you know you're a good team, when you can go through the bad moments and still overcome them. The average teams in many cases can't overcome those moments. Once you let an opponent feel like they can get back in the game and beat you, lo and behold, most of the time they can. But with this team, they put your foot on your throats, they take them off for whatever reason, and then all of a sudden they hit the accelerator again and take off. Yes. And I think that's an incredible trait. This team, to me, in a lot of ways, they don't score with the frequency of a Kansas City, but they do a lot of what Kansas City does in terms of accelerate, decelerate, accelerate.
Yeah, for me, I mean, there's the other one is just ball security / the ability to take it away. I mean, they can, man. Barrett, every coach goes into a game and one of the tenets every single week is ball security. Don't give it to them, take it away from them. And the Eagles do it every single week, and they've done it better than anybody in football this year. And that, to me, they're the kind of things that play really big in a playoff setting. When you go into the postseason and you take care of your football, they haven't fumbled all year. You take care of the football, and you get it from the other team, which is enormous. That is, I mean, not turning the ball over. I think it's a stat that Jaws likes to say in our pregame postgame show a lot. That if you don't give the ball up, if you don't give the ball up, it's like an 80% chance you're going to win. Just one, it's like 48% just by having one turnover. It goes even more down after that. But you don't see the common mistakes that you see with a lot of teams. They play more disciplined, not a lot of penalties either. I think they stop with the penalties, legal man downfield, jumping off sides and things of that nature. They had a lot of that at the beginning of the season. They cleaned that up, and now they're going forward. It just makes them a more dominant team because they're just a more disciplined team than most teams. Mm-hmm. And, I like the fact that, their quarterback, 9 times out of 10, we're putting them in a great position.
I'm sitting here and I'm shocked that Houston is a +3 in the turnover giveaway ratio.
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
Surprising.
When you look at how bad their numbers are, they have 10 takeaways and 7 giveaways. That's shocking. That's unheard of.
Not so the really.
Fact It is. Well, think about it. You got a quarterback who should be a habitual backup.
Yeah.
The only reason he's starting because nobody else wants to start in Houston. And you're devoid of talent. Your numbers across the board are putrid in a lot of ways.
Kyle Allen, the backup quarterback. Oh, you got that, dog. You got that.
Yeah. Yo, man, my shoulder a little sore. Go ahead, man. Take them extra throws, man. Yeah, go ahead. But they're plus 3 in the takeaway giveaway ratio. That's a weird dynamic.
Well, you know what? It's not because of that's still a lot of turnovers, though. You know what I'm saying? But they're getting
7 is a lot, but they're getting a lot. I mean,
yeah,
the thing is they can't finish. Yeah. When they get them, they're not finishing.
I think it's more so. Yeah, you're right. That's a big thing. They're not doing anything with those things because they don't have the talent to do anything with them on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
so, it's like, all right, yeah, yay, you got a turnover, yay. Now do something with it, offense.
Wah, wah.
Right. We stopped them.
Oh my God.
Right.
All right. Well, the other one I would put in there from an Eagles perspective is the passing game, and it's sort of a generic, one size fits all way to put it, but the way that they can hurt you with AJ on a slant at yards after catch, Devontae all over the place with great patterns with Dallas Goedert. We really haven't seen much from Quez Watkins all year, but that's there if you want to break glass in case of emergency with a deep shot.
I like that.
A lot of ways they can hurt you, man.
You say break glass in case of emergency. I like that.
Might need it.
That's exactly what it is. He's a luxury right now that just like Zach Pascal in the touchdown he scored. They ran a bubble screen. Well, first of all, when you broke down the play, the Zach Pascal touchdown, man, I tell you what, man, their way of taking what they're doing and breaking it up into sections where you could take care of teams. On that play, you had Smitty and AJ on the other side. And of course, they were playing man free. It means one safety over the top and everybody was man across the board. And on the right side of the line of scrimmage, offensive line of scrimmage, you had AJ and you had Smitty over there. So, of course, Minkah Fitzpatrick is going to kind of shade over there because he didn't beat him twice with long touchdowns already. Then you look on the other side of the field, you got Dallas Goedert, who's the outside guy, and then you have Zach Pascal, who's the actual run-blocking wide receiver. And what they do is they have go routes on the side, but then they run they're running like you're going to run a bubble screen to Goddard. How many times have they thrown a bubble screen to Goddard? Like 1,000 times this year.
Right.
So what he does is Dallas kind of comes up and then turns around, makes himself available for the bubble screen. And Zach Pascal looks like he's going to block the guy over Dallas Goedert and then jets up the field on a 9 route. That's perfect compliment to what they do all the time. Yeah. They always want to run these bubble screens. Then they fake the bubble screen, have the blocker that's supposed to crack down on the guy that's over Dallas Goedert, run a go route, 9 route, and it's a touchdown. I mean, both guys, even the guy that had Zach Pascal man-to-man, jumped on that on the bubble screen because they're so used to him getting it, and they go for a touchdown because he's wide open by himself. And Minkah Fitzpatrick, like I said, was on the other side of the field worrying about AJ Brown and Smith on the other side. So that's just great by Shane Steichen understanding what they've been doing and breaking the tendency for a touchdown.
Man, Eagles might set a new NFL record for second quarter points tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if that keeps up. All right, so let flip side. Obviously there's a lot good. Biggest concern for you / weakness, Barrett?
Biggest concern for me is still I'm still looking for a Michael Clay sighting. Can I get the special team coach to call something up to get this off? Get this special teams going. There's got to be a way that they can scheme to get a return. They have no return game.
No, there's zero threat. If you're the other team, you have no fear.
Right. Yeah, and really, then you look at this is like last 3 weeks, they've had 2 fake punts that they've converted on them twice. Once against was it Arizona? And then they had one this last game. Man, you get fired for stuff like that. And Michael Clay, you know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, you can't have this. You can't allow this to keep happening. You got to figure out a way. Why are the guys not blocking these stingers coming down the field? The gunners coming down the field. Why are they not blocking these guys? You're not giving your returner enough. Somebody needs to start blocking more. They need to start doing more, maybe game plan more. Find another way to generate something on a return game. And then covering also. Dallas, they were a block away from scoring a touchdown on a kickoff return.
Yeah.
This
you know why he won't get fired?
Continue.
You know why he won't get fired?
Why is that?
Because offense and defense are playing so well. He's
Things are
covered
too
up
good.
for him.
Right.
Things are too good right now.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. I need a Michael Clay signing.
Yeah.
Give it to me, man. I gotta have it, man. And I mean, I hate to put the young guy on him, but he's not doing anything right now that's noteworthy enough for him to stay on the squad, man. He's got to do more. They've got to put him in a better position. So my big thing is special teams.
Okay. How about you, Derek?
Run defense. Because you're going to run up against a Tennessee, a Green Bay, or a Giants team that can run the football, make the game a lot closer than it should be. I think the run defense has been too inconsistent. And now that you don't have Jordan Davis in there for a while, you know, we've talked about it time and time again, how when he's in there in the 5-man front especially, their run defense is a lot different. When he goes out, their run defense is a lot different. And now you don't have him at all for who knows, indefinitely right now. And it shocks me when you look at the personnel they have in the trenches and at the linebacking core, that the run defense has been inconsistent like that. And
right.
My biggest concern is they're going to come across one of those three teams that I mentioned that get ahead of steam, run the football, control the clock, and make the game a lot closer than it should be.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, eventually, not every week's going to be like what we think Thursday is going to be like, and you are going to be in a dogfight, and it'll sneak up on you just when you least expect it, and all of a sudden, if some team is gashing you on the ground, like I just wonder what it would look like if the Cowboys have Dak Prescott and are featuring Tony Pollard. You know, if you have the threat of what Prescott could do to you in the air, and you get Pollard, they're not trying to just appease Zeke Elliott. That would be interesting to me. You know, how the Eagles' run defense would hold up.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
in that scenario, and that's something that I would look check on both of those for me. In terms of the issues, like they're giving up 5.1 yards per carry.
Jeez,
that's not acceptable. I mean, that's a problem. Although, you know, the run defense has been okay. It's not awful. It's not what Houston is, but it needs to be better if you want to shore some things up. And I hope that's an area, you know, that they. I would guess they took a long, hard look at it in the bye week.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that shakes out.
See, Big William saying, "Well, Houston is a running team." Big William, where are they running into each other? Because they're the 7th worst rushing offense in the National Football League. They're averaging 92 yards a game running the football. So where are they running the ball? You know, they don't do anything well on offense.
Yeah,
nothing.
Like, Pierce is decent. He is. He's decent.
He is. There's nobody blocking for him.
Yeah, that right. That's part of it. And there's just not that much of a threat of a passing game. I mean, Davis Mills, 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's got an 81 passer rating. He's completing 63% of his passes for just 1,500 yards. Like, that's not – if you're the Eagles, you're going to stack the box and stop the run. That's got to be your game plan. And trust your corners on the outside against, you know, what Houston's going to be rolling out there.
That's a luxury,
Brandon Cooks, you know, and just a bunch of guys.
That's a luxury, man. That's a luxury that we can afford these days. Remember, we used to have Rasul Douglas out there, Jalen Mills, and,
oh my goodness,
Sidney Jones. Sidney Jones just got cut.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did yesterday. Yeah.
Look, both JJ Arcega-Whiteside and Sidney Jones got cut from Seattle.
What does that tell you? 2 second-round picks drafted by who?
Yes.
But those days are behind us now because the last 2 drafts have been much better.
Yes.
Here's what I'm hoping in a perfect world when I'm at Ocean Casino tomorrow doing more importantly, post-game show. Game kicks off. Everything I say falls into place. It's like Custer's last stand by halftime. I leave the green room. I go down to the next floor, hit a couple slot machines until late in the 4th quarter. Could come back, jump in the chair for the post-game show, do the show.
Well, I love it if Mike Missinelli would tell you, hey, Derek, give me your thoughts on the second half of the game. Well, I just won $200 at the slots.
I'll be like this. Huh?
What game? Oh, they're
No.
playing?
Ask Seth. I agree with Seth.
I'm about to say ask Seth.
Yeah.
I agree with
I
Seth.
didn't realize they were actually playing a game.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. All right, so we will come back. We'll dive into the NFL. The big news, and we touched on it a little bit in the first segment, but the big news is a potential sale of the Washington Commanders. At least they're exploring it, are the Snyders. So we'll dive into that. And there's a lot of other stuff that went down at the trade deadline after we got off. It was fast and furious yesterday during the show, man.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff happening.
Yep.
But we'll recap some of the stuff and some of the big news that went down
Halloween
yesterday.
candy time.
Oh, Gunner! I know you don't see him this excited. You know he's got that gleam in his eyes when he's going up there to get to
ready to race downstairs, man. See what's
look how healthy Barrett's being.
I'm on a diet, bro.
Oh,
what diet you on?
Bird food diet.
Wait. What led to this diet? I need to hear this.
Want to get healthy, man? What's wrong with that?
No,
you want to make fun of me, man? You want to make fun of me, man?
I'm not making fun of you. I asked you a very well thought question. I asked you a well thought out question that you have yet to give me an answer. I said, what led to this?
I want to be healthy. And I said, well thought out answer. I want to be healthy.
Did you see Xander just put in a private chat? I'm telling Trish tomorrow. Hey, Trish is going with me to Ocean Casino tomorrow. I'm telling Trish tomorrow she needs to put a stop to D-Gun's candy addiction.
Yes.
Man, you tell my Xander, you tell my wife anything, and I'm taking you out, bro. I'm telling you right now.
Xander, have an intervention for him for candy down there. Like, let's make it happen.
Look, this is one of the few times of the year I go in a candy biz. The other time is Easter when my wife makes these incredible peanut butter Easter eggs, and she makes these turtles. They're chocolate covered turtles with caramel and pecan nuts in them. The legs are pecan nuts she makes for Christmas. That's the only times I really go on a binge. You know,
there you go.
That's it.
All
Why are you laughing, man? I mean, I'm trying to. That's it.
You love food. It's great. I love it. I love the excitement.
Who doesn't?
What
Barrett loves food. I mean, Rob,
we all do. You get a special. There's a special. I like it.
See, Rob, you don't love food, Rob. Rob, you don't love food because your palate. See, me and Barrett, our palates are out here.
Yeah.
Rob's palate is right here.
Unlimited. Yeah.
Real, see, you like food, but you don't love food. You like to try everything. But
that's a good point.
You eat while I go get by.
You eat just
I eat to survive. Yeah.
Yes. And Barrett, that's why Rob is 155 pounds. I'm 225.
Right.
And I don't know
He's
what
the
you
same
are.
size he was in college. I mean, in high school.
That dude's the same size when I first met him in 1997.
Yeah, well, I might have a couple more pounds on me. We'll see. I don't know, somewhere. All right. I don't know. So we'll come back. Some NFL, a lot of stuff going on in the NFL. A little later, we'll dive into some open talk, including birthdays and movies and all that good stuff. So don't go anywhere. Barrett's gonna have a salad. Derek's gonna. What are we digging into? We getting some. I
don't know, man. We got
Oreos, or what are we doing?
Oreos. We got Hershey bars down there. We got Starburst. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I may not be back early next segment because I can't make a decision.
Okay.
I'm just telling you. But I'll be back eventually.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see about Derek's status. All right. We'll do all that when we get back. Tone, we're going to do a little Flynn Tree Services here going to the break. He's Barrett. He's Derek. I am Rob. All right. Let's talk about Flynn Tree Services. Flynn Tree Services is an experienced, licensed, and insured Pennsylvania tree services company that will trim or remove any unwanted trees off of your property. They offer cost-effective solutions to any tree problem that you may face. So ask yourself the question, do you have any type of issues with trees on your property or your yard? If you do, they're just a quick phone call away, and they are experts at trimming any types of tree. They service southeastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey, northern Delaware. Flynn Tree Services specializes in tree removal, stump grinding, and tree pruning. Now, keep in mind, we're in that time of year now where it's hurricane season. Some bad weather is coming our way. That's for sure. It's a great time to get your trees evaluated. Make sure everything's okay. Go to their Facebook or Instagram for more information or a sampling of their work. Give Flynn Tree Services a call. 610-850-2848. 610-850-2848 or online at flynntreeservices.com. That's flynntreeservices.com.
Go to get your game on.